Emily's Adventure and the Hidden Treasure. Once upon a time, in a small town surrounded by green hills and clear blue skies, there was a little girl named Emily. Emily lived with her parents and her younger brother Jack in a cozy house near the edge of the town. Every morning, the sun would rise over the hills, casting a golden light on the town and waking its residents to a new day. Emily loved her town. She enjoyed walking through the quiet streets, greeting her neighbors, and visiting the small shops that lined the main road. There was Mr. Brown, the baker, who always had the freshest bread and the sweetest pastries. Next to his shop was Mrs. Green's flower store, where colorful blooms filled the air with a delightful fragrance. Emily's favorite place was the town library, a small, charming building filled with books of all kinds. She would spend hours there, lost in stories about far-off places and incredible adventures. The librarian, Miss Thompson, was a kind lady who always helped Emily find the best books. One sunny afternoon, as Emily was reading a book about explorers in the library, she heard a commotion outside. Curious, she went to the window and saw a group of people gathered around the town square. At the center of the crowd stood a man she had never seen before. He was tall and wore a wide-brimmed hat, his eyes twinkling with excitement. The man introduced himself as Professor Charles, an inventor and explorer. He announced that he was organizing an expedition to discover a hidden treasure believed to be buried in the hills surrounding the town. The crowd buzzed with excitement as Professor Charles explained that he was looking for brave volunteers to join his adventure. Emily's heart raced with excitement. She had always dreamed of going on an adventure, just like the characters in her books. She ran home to tell her parents about the expedition. Her mother was worried, but her father, seeing the excitement in Emily's eyes, agreed to let her join, as long as she promised to be careful and follow Professor Charles's instructions. The next morning, Emily packed her backpack with essentials, a map, a flashlight, some snacks, and her favorite book for comfort. She met Professor Charles and the other volunteers at the town square. Among the group was her best friend Lucy and her older brother Tom. They set off towards the hills, their hearts full of hope and excitement. The journey was not easy. They climbed steep hills, crossed fast-flowing rivers, and navigated through dense forests. Along the way, Professor Charles taught them how to read maps, identify plants, and build shelters. Emily and her friends learned a lot and grew closer as a team. One evening, as they were setting up camp, they stumbled upon an old, weathered map hidden in a cave. The map seemed to show the way to the treasure. Following the map's clues, they journeyed deeper into the hills, facing challenges and solving puzzles along the way. After several days of travel, they finally reached a hidden valley. At the center of the valley stood a large, ancient tree. According to the map, the treasure was buried beneath it. With great excitement, they started digging. After what felt like hours, their shovels hit something hard. They had found a large, old chest. With trembling hands, Professor Charles opened the chest. Inside, they found gold coins, sparkling jewels, and ancient artifacts. But there was something even more valuable, a collection of old books and scrolls filled with knowledge and stories from the past. Emily was overjoyed, for she knew that these books held more treasures than any gold or jewels. They returned to the town as heroes, greeted by cheering residents. The treasure was shared with the town, and the books were placed in the library, where everyone could learn from them. Emily felt proud and happy. She had lived an adventure and discovered that the greatest treasures are often those that enrich the mind and spirit. From that day on, the town flourished. People came from far and wide to visit the library and learn from the ancient books. Emily continued to explore and learn, always curious about the world around her. She knew that life was full of adventures, waiting to be discovered. And so, the small town by the green hills and blue skies became known not just for its beauty, but also for the knowledge and stories it held. Emily's adventure had shown everyone that with courage and curiosity, incredible discoveries could be made